feel free to grab whatever props you would like. So if you'd like pillows, if you'd like bolsters or blocks, or even towels, if you have towels at home, or something you can use to prop your body as we move today. And then as soon as you're ready, you can find your way to your mat or to your space. And wherever you are, find a nice, tall, comfortable seat. You can ground your palms on your thighs, face down or face up, and we'll just take a few rounds of breath here. So as you're ready, ground your sits bones down, soften your gaze or close your eyes. Take a full breath in. And a slow breath out. Again, big breath in, fill up. And a slow breath out. Consider over this next hour what it is in this moment that you wish to receive. Today we're calling on the natural elements of earth to inspire not only release, but most importantly to move closer towards moksha, aka liberation. So what is it that you need freedom from today? Maybe it's freedom from anxiety, fear, or maybe it's just freedom from restriction in your physical body. Whatever that looks like for you, take a full breath in, fill up, and let it go. We'll move into butterfly pose. So you can blink your eyes open if you'd like. Draw the soles of your feet together to touch. Depending on what your body needs, if your outer hips are tight, you can walk your heels a little further forward. If your inner thighs, inner groin is tight and you want to release that area, draw your heels further back towards your hips, towards your pelvis. Ground your sits bones down, or you can prop your hips up on a block, on a bolster, or on a towel. And then once you're ready, big breath in, lift through your heart for a moment. And as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and just start to round down one vertebra at a time. Find that place where your head can release, either supported by the earth, or maybe supported by a prop. So you can take a prop if your head does not touch your feet or the earth, and just roll your forehead down on top of it. You can rest your arms by your sides or by the sides of your prop, face up or face down, whatever feels best in your body. And as you're here, just slowly start to acknowledge, connect with your breath. So again, butterfly pose, soles of your feet together to touch, round down. Look for a big curve through your spine as you're here. Big curve through your spine. Again, the closer your heels are towards your pelvis, towards your hips, the more inner thigh. The farther forward, the more outer hip. Consider in this moment what freedom looks like for you in your body. So when you feel free in your physical body, what does that create? Maybe it's movement, maybe it's a feeling, but what does that inspire in you? Continue to tuck your chin deep towards your chest. Invite any tension in your hips, in your legs, and then throughout the length of your spine to release. Now this practice today that we're moving through is Yin Yoga. Yin meant to be a balance for all of the yang stuff we do, which is most things in life. In Yin Yoga, there's a lot of space, not only silence, but space to hold poses, to breathe into them, and to feel the release of tension. If you've noticed, sensations start to release, start to relax, and you feel you can readjust the height of your props and round a little deeper forward, now is an excellent time to do so. Feel free to readjust the height of your blocks, your props, and go a little deeper into your fold. Focus on the accent of the curve through your spine as you arc into your spine by tucking your chin a little deeper. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. Big full breath in. And a long breath out. Again, big breath in, fill and expand. And a full breath out. Slowly start to roll your way back up to a tall seat. You can bring your hands to the sides of your legs, scoop your feet up. Walk your feet nice and wide toward the wide edges of your mat. Lean your hands back and just rock your knees side to side. Breathe in to bring your knees back to center. And then breathe out as you roll your knees to the left. Again, inhale, bring your knees back to center. Exhale as you bring your knees to the right. 2 more times, inhale back to center. Exhale, knees to the left. Last time, inhale, knees to the center. Exhale, back to the right. Good. On your next breath in, come back up to center. Take your right foot, place it to your left inner thigh, extend your left leg long. Half butterfly pose. Once more, you can use pillows, you can use blocks if you have them, bolsters, whatever works for you. Start by sitting up tall and roll your heart open towards your extended leg side. From there, flex your toes. So point your toes up to start. You can even firm the top of your thigh or quadriceps. So get a little tension here. Feel the stretch on the opposite side. A little contraction to start. Take a breath in. As you exhale, relax the contraction, relax your toes, tuck, round, and curl. Start to round over your leg. You can tuck your chin towards your chest, aim your forehead towards your knee. As you aim your forehead towards your knee, if it doesn't meet, once more, find your props, your support, so that your head is supported, it's weighted. You can just relax your arms at your sides, face your palms up. Notice if your heart is lifted, especially to one side, the right, or towards the left. And see if, as you're here, you can start to roll your heart towards your thigh as you tuck your chin in deep. You're looking for sensation to the back of your extended leg. You might as well feel a stretch sensation through your paraspinals, the muscles that run along your spine. On Yin Yoga, you're actively searching for sensation, but never pain. So find the edge of sensation. If you feel yourself gripping or holding your breath, can you relax? Can you soften into this space a little bit more? Just like in life, life can flex, life can tense, life can be a challenge. Where is one part of your life that you can soften a little bit more? That you can release, let go, liberate. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Your next breath in, slowly roll back up to a tall seated position. Once you get there, just rotate your heart more over your right hip, your right thigh. You can shift your weight onto your right hip. Draw your left heel towards your glute. And we'll just start. So place your right hand by your right hip, reach your left arm up and over. Big stretch for your side body. stay active through your left arm as you reach your fingers up and over. Big side body stretch. Come back up to center, sit up nice and tall. Deer pose, rotate your torso more over your right thigh, and then as you're ready, start to climb your forearms down. Maybe you can lay all the way down. And as you lay down towards the earth, maybe reach your heart, your hip forward, and then settle. Working more the diagonal angle of your left side body, maybe even down into your hip. Resist the need to keep your left hip pivoted down and instead just let it kind of freely hang towards the earth. So gravity is giving you that stretch sensation. If you feel a lot of compression in your hip or hip flexor, front of your hip or groin area on your right side, you can always play with the angle of your leg. Maybe take your knee further forward in front of you or forward up. So play with that angle that is really specific to your body. And then invite yourself to once more release or heavy towards the earth. Breath. Can you tend to your breath? Can you scan your body to see if there are places with restriction? Or does it feel free? Does it feel uninhibited as you move it through your body? Through all of the crevices and the unique curves that design your physical features. Big breath in. And a full release. Your next breath in, start to elevate your way up. And lift your heart towards the sky and slowly rotate your body open. Once more, facing towards the side of your mat, feet nice and wide, big breath in. As you exhale, follow your knees over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees to the right. Just sway your legs side to side. Take any movement that feels good in your body. And we'll switch sides. This time, extend your right leg long, left foot to your right inner thigh. As you're here, sit up nice and tall. Rotate your heart over towards your leg. Just start by flexing your right foot, firm the top of your thigh. So nice and strong, nice and solid here. Big full breath in. And as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Round one vertebra at a time, half butterfly pose. You can take your block, whatever you need, round down. At the same time, relax the contraction in the top of your leg. Invite your toes to relax, to release. No need to flex or even actively point, but just let your foot relax, your muscles relax as you round down. Looking for sensation this time to the back of your right thigh. You might notice this side feels easier to roll your heart towards the earth, or maybe a little bit stickier. Notice those subtleties of difference from side to side, without judgment, but merely a curious observation. Can you smooth your breath to smooth those edges within? Like those edges that exist in your breath, or those unique spaces that exist within your physical body. Where was the last rough edge of interaction that you experienced in your life off of your mat recently? Maybe it was a thought that you had within yourself, to yourself or to another. Or maybe it was the way that you actually communicated with someone within close or far proximity. Free yourself of holding that experience. Acknowledge that experience. And then commit to growth from that experience. Take a big breath in and a breath out. And your next breath in, slowly roll your way back up to a tall seat. Sit up nice and tall, lift your heart, shift your torso and your weight over onto your left hip this time. Draw your right heel towards your glutes. You can start by lifting your heart up and just plant your left palm down, bend into your elbow, reach your right arm up and over. Big stretch for your side body. Swivel your right hip back down towards the earth to target more opening through your right side body. As you inhale, lift up nice and tall. Rotate your torso over your left thigh. Deer pose, slowly lower your torso down. You can place your palms on your bolster, your blocks, your pillows, whatever support you have. Again, make sure it feels supported. If you need to adjust where your left thigh is, so you feel release rather than compression in your groin or in your hip, feel free to adjust the angle of either your torso or your leg. And then once you're ready, roll your way down, lower down. Scan of your outer right hip. See if you're holding tension there. If you are, soften on your exhale, let it go. Take a little scan of the front of your right hip. If you're holding tension there, can you exhale? Can you breathe out? Can you let it go? Liberation, moksha. Shift your internal gaze to your left hip. Notice the sensation, breathe into it. As you exhale, get even heavier, let it go. The front of your left hip. Are you gripping? Can you release? Can you soften? big breath in. And a slow breath out. And your next breath in, slowly walk your way back up to a tall seat. You can shift onto your right hip, swing your legs up and forward this time. And once more, a little side to side action, windshield wiper, take any movement that feels good. If you even want to plant your feet down and lift your hips, come into bridge pose, more than welcome to with your hands on the earth. So a little opposite action, hands down, feet down, hips up. Little lift of your heartscape. And once you're ready, we'll move into full dragonfly. So you can lower your hips back down onto the earth, like this with your legs in a V. As much of a V that feels good for your body. You can bend your knees as much as you need, and this can really help with positioning for your hips, for your pelvis. When you're ready, stick your butt out behind you. Again, if you need to bend your knees to give yourself that space, go for it. You can always place pillows, towels underneath your knees for more support. Then when you're ready, start by lifting through your heartscape. Toes can point up. And then as you exhale, just relax any tension in your legs, tuck, round, and curl. Start to round your way forward and down. Tuck your chin towards your chest, big C curve through your spine, all the way from the base of your spine. Let it become this giant C curve or arc up and over. You can angle the crown of your head towards the earth or towards your props. The more you tuck your chin, the more you'll feel your paraspinals, the muscles running along the length of your spine start to open, start to stretch. More than likely, you'll feel sensation to your inner thigh, inner groin area. You might as well feel sensation to the back of your thighs, maybe more towards your inner hamstrings. Wherever you are, resist tension in your hips or in your legs. Just let your legs fall where they will, so you can soften into the deepening opportunity. You notice the tension start to release, maybe readjust the height of your supporting structures, So you can go a little deeper, so you can round a little further forward. Soften your belly and deepen your exhalation for 2 more rounds of breath. Full breath in, fill up. Big soft release as you breathe out. Again, big breath in, fill up. Big soft release as you breathe out. Start to roll your way back up to a tall seat. As you get there, you can use your hands, draw them underneath your knees, and just collect your legs together. Feel free to take whatever movement once more that you need to feel good in your body. You can always bring your hands behind you, dig your heels down, lift your hips up, lift through your heart. Reverse staff pose, little activity after so much release. And then once you're ready, you return your hips back down. So fire log pose. And this pose will look different for each person here. So you can start with your left shin down on the ground. Right shin can come on top. This may or may not be available, this position. And that is completely determined on, yes, the tension in your soft tissue, right, in your muscles, tendons, ligaments, but also has to do with how your bones come together. So you can always adjust a couple different things. If you're here but your knee is up, you can take a block or a pillow or whatever works in between, just so there's a little cushion for release. You can also take your foot that's on top, place something in front of your bottom knee, and then just let your foot rest on that. And then always, other option, just place your foot in front of your knee. Think of paralleling your shins more towards the top of your mat versus your heels being in really tight. Other thing to consider is your hips. So make sure wherever you are that your sits bones are down and that you can start seated tall. If that feels like your hips are curved underneath or you're tucked, go ahead and sit on a block, sit on a pillow, a towel, something to prop your hips to give them space. Once you find your perfect pelvic and then leg position, start by sitting up tall, lift your heart, reach it towards the sky, big breath in. And as you exhale, tuck, round, and curl, dive forward as you fold. Once more, find that place where your head is supported on blocks, on a prop. You should feel sensation to your outer right hip, so the top leg or the front leg side. You might feel it on the other side's outer hip, and that's okay. If you feel this in your knee, readjust where your top leg is. So maybe if your foot is on top of your knee, bring it forward instead in front so that there's zero knee pressure. You might have noticed that we've been moving through a bunch of different postures to start releasing deeper and deeper into your hip complex, but also so we can go deeper and deeper into not only paraspinal, so back line of your torso, which gets tight, as well as rotation, but ultimately working towards the ultimate freedom, the ultimate liberation, moksha, liberation, freedom for your heart. So what are you still holding in this moment? Much like in life, what are you holding or gripping? Maybe it's holding and gripping on to something that is no longer there. Maybe it's holding and gripping on to not changing. And how instead can you relinquish that grip, which ultimately works towards release of suffering. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Your next breath in, slowly roll your way back up to a nice tall seat. Once you get to the top, shift your weight back. Once more, plant your feet. You can rock, you can roll for your hips side to side. Maybe all the way from one hip. Little rotation for your spine. Roll all the way over to the other side. Little rotation for your spine. Eventually back to center. We'll go straight to the other side. Stack your shins one on top of the next or the other. Again, options here. If there's space between your left knee and your right foot, place a block, place something in between the two. You can always place something in front of your bottom knee or shin and then place your top foot on it, or just place it on the ground. Make sure your hips, your sits bones can root down. Start by lifting your heart up. Maybe take your palms back behind you. Big heart opener, lift open. As you exhale, tuck your chin, round forward, slowly lower down. Second side, second set. If it feels like enough sensation, seated tall, you can stay there. It's easy to forget that life is constant change. And change is on sometimes the subtlest of layers. But without change, how would you grow? How would you experience the beauty that is possible with existence without it? Now is your time to release one more bit of resistance. One more thing that you're holding on to so tight that's restricting you from leaping into your destiny. Moksha. Take a full breath in. Big breath out. Slowly start to roll your way back up to a nice, tall, comfortable seat. Take it slow as you go. Once more, rock your feet onto the earth. You can turn towards the side, either side. Now recline down onto our backs. You can take any props that you think you might want with you, a bolster, a block, pillows. Started with supported bridge pose, just to get your hips up. So as you're ready, plant your feet about hip width distance apart, lower down onto your back. Once you get onto your back, press into your feet, lift your hips. You can take a block, bolster, or whatever, slide it underneath your hips. Once you get there, maybe extend your legs nice and long. Feel the freedom through the front line of your hips. Feel free to reach your arms overhead. Notice what it feels like to open the front line of your body, front line of your hips. Feel free to readjust the height of your block underneath your sacrum. So your sacrum is beneath your low back, top of your hips, top of your glutes. Position with your arms up long over your head, asking you to trust, asking you to be fully open, not only to what may come your way, but to possibilities and potentials that you haven't even realized exist, but have always existed. As you're here, consider what is one visualization of a truly freeing act. Maybe it is standing at the top of a mountain, screaming off of the top of it as loud as you can. Maybe it's standing with your community side by side around a lake and screaming at the top of your lungs. Apparently a lot of my freedom visualizations have to do with screaming. But what does that look like for you? Take a big breath in. Breathe out. And walk your feet back in. Press into your feet, lift your hips. Slide whatever is underneath your sacrum out. Roll down onto your back. You're more than welcome to stay here for your final posture. If you would like to prop your heart space up for your final pose, tuck your knees in, roll onto one side, and you can grab for, once you're seated upright, grab for your bolster, your pillows, or your block. And this will go underneath the length of your spine, so your heart can be elevated to end. Once you're ready, you can back your hips, if you're using a bolster, up against your bolster. If you have a block or two blocks, make sure that the block is in between your shoulder blades, but above your low back. You don't want it on just your lumbar spine. Once you're ready, roll all the way down onto your back. You can take your arms out straight from your shoulders, pentacle pose being the often common end pose in Yin Yoga. You can take your legs out nice and long, take them as wide as you'd like. Big 5-point star, and breathe here. Scan your feet, scan your ankles. If you hold tension here, take a breath in. As you exhale, release it out heavy. Continue to move further up your legs, into your calves, into your knees, your thighs, your hips. Take a little body scan, big breath in. As you exhale, release here. Continue to scan up your body, up your spine, on the front of your belly. Do you feel resistance, restriction, or is it free? Is it big? Breathe in. Big open mouth exhale, release. Climb your attention up into your heart scape. The front, the back, the sides of where your heart emanates. And as you breathe in, breathe that central space to you out into your arms, the extenders of your heart. And as you exhale, just heavy it, trust it into the earth beneath you. Take that same expansive connection all the way up your neck, your spine. Feel the softening in your jaw, your third eye center, your temples. Big breath in. And as you exhale, moksha, liberation, heavy here. here longer. As you're ready to reawaken, to move, start to layer in movement of your fingers, your toes. Roll your wrists, your ankles in all directions. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor, and just roll to either side, supported fetal position. An opportunity for you to consider this pose, supported fetal position, one representing rebirth, renewal. Who in this moment are you dedicated to showing up as? Are you dedicated to being this new evolution of you, this new free you, that it only exists here and now in this moment? Commit to the embodiment of that human. Big breath in. And breathe out. Slowly elevate your way up to a tall seat. Slide your hands together, Anjali Mudra, prayer position in front of your heart, thumbs to heart center. It's from this powerful epicenter of you, beneath these surface pieces of your physical body and within the subtle body, that the essence of you truly exists. As you continue to navigate through times and through the world and through life that is always one of change, how can you lean into the unknown to dive into the freedom that exists within that space of being? Thank you so much for being here today, friends. But as always, thank you most importantly, simply for being. Namaste. I love you all.